Throughout the 2010s, the Mario Party series was going through a bit of a rough patch, but Super Mario Party tried to fix that. Although the majority opinion of this game is that it doesn't compare to the originals, I still find this one to be quite excellent. So today, I'll be ranking the top 10 Super Mario Party minigames. This ranking will be based on how creative each minigame is, how fun they are, and anything else that helps them to stand out. I've gone through and played every single minigame for this list to make sure I didn't forget any, and all types of minigames will be included, like 2v2s, 1v3s, and so on. And with that, let's get to the countdown. Number 10. Barreling Along. I feel like every Mario Party has a minigame that has all the characters just racing, and Super Mario Party's is flat out awesome. Well, it's not flat because they're on barrels and barrels aren't flat, but you get what I'm saying. So you'll use gyro controls to navigate your character throughout the course. The controls are fine, but they aren't as responsive as I'd like them to be. Sometimes I'll just get stuck in place even though I'm tilting my controller forward. The course itself is very lush. There's some grass that can slow you down, some water, and a couple of dash panels at the end. I like the variety of obstacles since it makes it harder to cheese. However, there's only one course for this minigame. I know that most minigames don't go to the length of making multiple levels, but what we do have is just too short. I would definitely put this higher on the list if there were multiple levels and if the controls actually worked. Number 9. Trip Navigator. Nintendo sure loves their bananas. They've put them in Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, so it honestly doesn't surprise me that they'd make a minigame about bananas. All 4 characters are split up on each corner of the map, and they have to get to the middle. The only problem is that the banana peels are everywhere blocking your path. Touching a banana peel will cause your character to slip out and fall to the ground. It doesn't take too long for them to get up, but the minigame becomes more stressful each fall you take. I think once I was able to win this minigame by only slipping on one banana peel, but that will never happen again. I wonder if the bananas are randomly generated, or if it's the same each time. I'm too lazy to check. My only gripe with this minigame is that it's over too fast, so you better move quickly, or else this minigame will give you the slip. I'm so sorry. Number 8. Off the Chain. This is a 1v3 minigame that has one player riding on top of a chain chomp. They have to ram into the other players while everyone else merely has to avoid being stampeded by them. The controls for the chain chomp feel a bit stiff, but that's expected so that the minigame's fair. It's very satisfying psyching out your opponents, watching them fly out of the arena. It makes you feel so powerful. This minigame reminds me a lot of bullfighting. I half expect someone to pull out a red cape and start dancing around. At least that's what I think happens at bullfights. I don't really know. Anyways, this minigame is very simple, but manages to be fun at the same time. Number 7. Pie Hard. Have you ever wanted to pie your friends in the face? Well, now you can, sort of. This minigame puts you on teams of 2, and the goal is to pie your opponents as much as possible. Now there are a couple of strategies to winning this minigame. I find it easiest to grab 2 pies at once, then throw one of the pies, and once your opponent is vulnerable again, kablam! Well, it doesn't quite sound like that, but you know what I mean. Honestly, I just like this game for its simplicity. Anyone can understand it because of its universal nature, and there's no luck involved. Just pure skill. Just the way I like it. Number 6. Fuzzy Flight School. Wait, school? I don't want to be reminded of the horrors of the public education system. Luckily, this minigame has nothing to do with that. You and your opponents have to dodge fuzzies while moving down a narrow tunnel. The game is set up so that you can't always see what's coming up, and that honestly might sound bad, but you're given just enough time to move out of the way. Not to mention, you're also given free lives, so even if you do stink, you get to keep playing. The gyro controls actually work pretty well for the most part. Unlike in Barreling Along, you feel like you have good control over your character at all times. Maybe that's because we aren't moving in a 3D environment, but that's probably just me. Overall, this minigame does a good job using the Joy-Con's abilities to its fullest potential. Number 5. Slaparazzi. Mario Party is a fun game and all, but it can get hella annoying at times. Sometimes you just need to slap the crap out of your opponents, and this minigame does just that. A Koopa Troopa is trying to take everyone's photo, and it's your job to be the center of attention. You'll have to slap the other players out of the way in order to get up close, though. This is such a simple idea, but it's done really well, and is a lot of fun. I especially like that you get to see each photo after it's been taken. Some of them look really goofy. I do feel kinda bad punching some of these characters out of the way though, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. So in conclusion, this is a really fun and creative minigame, but I don't recommend trying this at home. Yeah! Number 4. Dash and Dine. I never want to work in a restaurant, so this minigame is probably as close as I'm going to get. This is a 2v2 minigame that has you scurrying around a kitchen completing orders. The goal is to get more orders in than the other team. Now there may be 3 different items to grab, but things can get pretty hectic. It can be difficult to find the best route with everybody running around in different directions, and it doesn't help that there's an extra toad running around blocking your path. And that's the beauty of it. This minigame is pure chaos. There are times when you just don't want to move just so you can block your opponent's path. And I know that sounds pretty evil and all, but sometimes you just have to be evil. That got kinda dark. Anyways, this minigame will put a smile on your face every time you play it. It's that awesome. Number 3. Bumper Brawl. Bumper Balls, as you all know, is a classic Mario Party minigame. So I suppose Bumper Brawl is like the evolution of that minigame, but instead of 4 players, there's 16. I have no idea why they decided to make the number so high. Half of the characters fly out in the first 5 seconds anyway. One change that is welcome, however, is the ability to charge up an attack. Doing this will send you shooting forward, and your opponents flying high. This really helps it so that there's less of a chance for ties. But with all that being said, this minigame can be quite hard to win. There's just so many players that one of them is bound to target you, and even if you do survive, you might not win if all your teammates lost. That's really the only issue though, but it certainly can make or break the minigame. If there was an option to play with 4 players, then this minigame would be immensely better than it already is. Number 2. Gridiron Gauntlet. What even is a gridiron? Does anyone actually know? Well, according to my 100% completely reliable source, it is a field for football marked with regularly spaced parallel lines. Did you know that? Probably not. So there you go, you just learned something new today. Gridiron Gauntlet is one of those minigames that never gets old. Basically, a bunch of charging chucks come running at you, and you have to dodge them. They can come individually or in groups, and you can take up to 3 hits. You get such a rush trying to dodge all that's coming at you. It feels so good to not get hit by a single charging chuck. I know that this minigame might look incredibly simple, but trust me, this is one of those minigames that you'll always remember because of how great it is. Number 1. Sizzling Sticks. By far the best use of the Joy-Con's gyro controls. You'll take control of a frying pan and have to fry all sides of a meat cube. And the only way to do that is by flipping the meat in the air. Now you could do little flips like a sane person, or you could be like me and do insanely cool tricks just for the hell of it. The controls feel so perfected. I feel like I'm completely in control, which definitely helps with this type of minigame. I also appreciate that the game lets you know when there's one side left. It's really difficult trying to flip the meat onto the last side, but it feels so satisfying when you eventually nail it. And can I just say that this food looks delicious? Like seriously, they did not need to make the food look this good. This minigame will make you happy and hungry. All I'm saying is that this minigame is remarkable, and one that you won't soon forget. So, what do you think? Although all these minigames are great, there's still a ton more out there that are just as fun. Be sure to comment down below what your favorite Super Mario Party minigames are. I'll be sure to respond to as many of you as I can. And as always, like and subscribe to support my channel. If you like what you saw today, you'll surely love these other videos of mine. Now I have to get going. I'm off to destroy my friends at Mario Party. See you all soon. Goodbye.